Oh, man. Everybody's recovering from a long weekend. There were a lot of out-of-office messages, but a lot of people were really working in this industry. Today, we're talking about the 40 under 40. It's coming around. Some EV players and a new Gen Z social platform you never knew you didn't need. Well, let's hear.
You never knew you didn't.
Never knew you didn't need it, but you know now.
I love it. I'm excited about the first story today. The LinkedIn post fanfare of the Automotive News 40 under 40 is going to be nuts today. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. I love the 40 under 40. And this year we looked at the list. I mean, I don't know a lot of people on that list, which isn't usually the case.
Yeah.
So I love it that they're digging deeper into the industry. We'll talk about that in a minute. Obviously, long weekend, a lot of people doing a lot of things. Everybody's getting back, settled, focused. 1 week of July is already behind us. 3 weeks of July left. Crazy. Yeah, Doug on the live stream. Yes, Q3 officially kicked off. It really feels like that. The holiday really stalls that for a couple of days. But we're in it now. We have a new podcast releasing today, a new episode. We have a podcast called Collabs, AUTOCOLLABS. You can search it up on any podcast platform. Basically, we're talking about the future of financing is faster with Keishawn Batts of Upstart. I think it's the third time he was on the show, second or third. Always a fun conversation. And you're going to learn a little bit about financing, AI's use in financing, and where they think that's going to be in the next 3 to 5 years. So a great episode to check it out. Just search ASOTU on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your stuff.
You can find it.
Collabs.
Podcasts everywhere.
Check it out.
One. Keyshawn's awesome.
Very good. All right, let's talk about the 40 under 40. It's that time of year again. And we got our first look this morning at Automotive News 13th annual 40 under 40 class, showcasing the industry's best, brightest, and most dedicated leaders. This year's honorees include both lifelong industry participants and those who discovered their passion for auto later in life. A lot of those around. There are more than a few friends of ASOTU, as well as some fresh faces, some that we recognize right off the bat. Gregg Ciocca Jr., Katie Duncan, who's going to be one of the stars of episode 4 of More Than Cars, to be released soon, and our friend Grace Scott. The list includes 16 women, 24 men, with an average age of 34.7 years old. Moving that down. The oldest on the list are 39, just sneaking it in before the last year. So congrats to Brandon Collins, Ashley Garzone, Ashley Mabery, Nathan Meckley, Caitlin Roberts, and Grace Scott. And the youngest coming in hot at 27. I don't know if they have a floor on this, like 27 is the youngest, but there were 3 honorees under 27. Ethan Bushong, managing partner, and Kielan Whitner, a general manager. A lot of GMs.
There were a lot of GMs.
Oh, actually, I did a breakdown. And I don't know where it is now. Let me see if I can pull it up.
There's a lot of GMs in there. There were a few managing partners in there. I love seeing the ones where like they're dedicated to HR or marketing.
There's a lot of those. That's
training, right? A young lady that's a finance training manager, right? Mm-hmm. I think at age 34. So a lot of diversity in gender and skill set and job role and age. Yeah, from 27 to 39.
I learned a couple things between 27 and 39.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you that much.
Buddy,
so it's great. A lot of perspectives. Okay, here's the general breakdown. 15 GMs, 5 sales managers, 7 in finance, 7 in marketing and human resources, 4 in executive leadership, 3 in operations and technical management, and 1 other, I guess we'll call it.
Wow. That's really cool. Like, congrats to those, to that crew. I can't wait. We typically head over to the Automotive News Forum at NADA, where these people all get celebrated. They take a big photo,
little lunch.
If you know any of them, like we're going to be reaching out, just chatting. We love having people on podcasts and sharing stories more broadly. So
if you know them, send it our way. Just send a little intro to crew@asotu.com, or just send them the email, which, by the way, we have a daily email. I found out that like some people who know us as an events company don't know we have a daily email. So just going to say it 3 times today. Just go to asotu.com. It's a real fun email. Today's was awesome, by the way.
Yeah. Speaking of today's email.
Was this in today's email? Oh, it was. Some of it. This is a little bit of a digest. EV landscape is buzzing with some notable news from some of the highest profile players, Tesla, Rivian, and Polestar this week. So basically, this came out like late last week. Tesla Cybertruck may be, not sure for certain, but may be the best-selling electric pickup in the U.S., with recall data suggesting that there about 8,000 to 9,000 units were delivered in Q2, surpassing Ford's 7,902 F-150 Lightnings and GM's combined 5,125 electric pickups. So they're kind of crushing there. Despite the lack of model-specific sales from Tesla, because they don't split them out when it comes to like Cybertruck, Model X, et cetera. They ramped up production for all this pent-up demand that's still there. Although GM's Silverado, EV Silverado, is growing, or as Kyle likes to call the Avalanche.
It's just the Avalanche.
Talking about,
go
ahead.
I mean, real quick before we get to the other automakers, like one, to be a brand and people have to measure you by your recall status because you don't
report the numbers.
You just don't even need to report the numbers. But also, I mean, you gotta remember, there's 150,000 people on the list. The only limitation that they have is production time. At this point, from a volume perspective.
That's true. Rivian, on the other hand, surpassed their Q2 2024 delivery forecasts with 13,790 vehicles, still far less than like a Tesla or whatever, but they maintaining their annual goal of 57,000 units and aiming for per vehicle profitability by the end of this year. So that's a major deal. Basically, they have this $5 billion joint venture with Volkswagen focusing on software and electrical architecture, potentially expanding their hardware and production, enhancing their EV infrastructure. But yeah, Rivian over-delivering. So that's a good thing. And finally,
you know what's the cool story about Rivian? Like, they've just done it with the right pace. You know, they've I think everybody wants all these automakers to just make massive splashes, but like Rivian's just been that steady engine that could type thing. So I think, the fact that they're going to get profitable by the end of this
that's what
year,
they say, but they do have, let's say, a more accurate prediction history than their contemporary Elon Musk as far as what they will hit. So
facts.
Again, back to the measured pace. I think people are trusting Rivian's prediction just a little bit more right now. But yeah, they still have a long way to go, and it's they're on their way there. Volvo, this is a little bit more in the retail franchise world. Volvo plans to reduce its stake in EV maker Polestar from 48.3% all the way down to 18%, following Polestar's significant financial losses in 2023, including a net loss of $1.17 billion and a decrease in both revenue and profit. This is obviously reflective of the challenging EV market, demand for premium BEVs, declines in consumers for EVs only as they opt into hybrids, and Polestar. We're gonna get Matt Haken on the show to see what his thoughts, because he has a Polestar.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
I know
this is interesting because it's not like Polestar is going under, but when you look at a legacy automaker, and this is going to have a direct impact to their overall market cap, right? Because if a massive investment is down 1.17 billion, impacts their financials because they're going to put that on the books. And so this is probably just a book move at this point. Like 18% is still a pretty hefty investment in the brand. They never had a controlling stake in it. But it, another one kind of shaky, on the grounds of
they make it. Yeah. I mean, it's a great car. They're leveraging franchise network, which, I mean, you think about like partnering with somebody like Matt Haken and just an entrepreneurial mindset who's pushing the brand forward. Like, I'd lean into like the success of someone through a franchise network. It's a great product. I've driven one. It's an awesome car. We'll see what they do. They also have Polestar has some really creative ways to lease one, like these all-inclusive leases. So it's like very low risk, 12 months, 24 months, 18 months, where you can get it, try it. We'll see what happens. Speaking of seeing what happens on everybody's feed all the time.
Telling you what, if you thought you were just getting used to TikTok and maybe Threads, there is a brand new Gen Z focused social media app topping the download charts this week. The app is called NoPlace, a fresh app founded by 27-year-old entrepreneur Tiffany Zhang. The idea is to make it more like MySpace, bringing back the essence of
I'm sorry, you
media.
said what? Make it more like what?
Yeah, MySpace said it. MySpace, which apparently is the essence of social media. Like that was the golden nugget before the algorithms and the ads took over. The way that NoPlace works is it connects users based on stars or what they consider common interests, offering features like pinning top friends, a friends only feed. Earlier this year, it quickly went viral on TikTok and got a beta user set of 500,000 users. So just through TikTok, which is really kind of interesting.
Yeah,
social media,
leverage it to start a competitor.
Basically, what happens is you go in, you choose your top 10 friends, switch easily to a friends only feed. Their goal is to expand group chat features with AI tools naturally, while avoiding unnecessary feature bloat, aiming to foster, get this, genuine connection and taking inspiration
always on the
platforms like Reddit. So it's like MySpace, Facebook,
I don't even
X
know.
and Reddit had a baby and put it in a really interesting graphic scenario and called it NoPlace.
NoPlace.
Maybe it's like home.
Well, no, here's actually the history of the name is kind of funny. So first of all, Tiffany Zong is a rock star. She started came onto the scene as like a prodigy 17-year-old, and she's been building products ever since. So she kind of understands this world very well. It was originally supposed to be called No Space, and they got a cease and desist letter from, they didn't disclose who, but I think we all know who it was. So they went from No Space to NoPlace.
Yep.
I'm really curious to check this out. I think this really highlights the desire for people to have authentic human connection. It never is out of style. It never is undefeated. It always finds a way back to the center of the conversations, while other platforms are struggling to figure out how to get their algorithms to serve both the user and the company's interest. It's a very tricky middle ground. And so I think this just capitalizes on the desire for Gen Z to step out of people telling them what they should be paying attention to, and instead focusing on the things that they want to pay attention to. Very similar to why I see a lot of Gen Zers on Reddit. This is what we're talking about. This is what we want to talk about. I don't care about your fill in the blank there. So I'm a fan. I'm giving this a thumbs up, positive vote. I think it's going to be great.
I think it's a positive vote. The other thing that I would pay attention to, especially from a marketing perspective, is look at what this generation is kind of viewing as cool or the new thing when it comes to graphics, when it comes to design. Like if that's like, I would download it just for that. Because it is a total departure from what like the last 7 years of apps kind of look like. And I think that you're going to see more marketing, more design coming out in that arena.
Good indicator.
So it's a place to play.
Very, very good indicator. Well, we hope you got nice and started for this week, third quarter, second week of July. Either way, a lot to pay attention to, a lot to think about. We got your back. Actually, sign up for the email, ASOTU.com. We'll see you there.